Good afternoon. How are we doing today? My name is Adam Carty. I'm the choral director and show choir director here at Logan High School, and I'm very excited to welcome you all to Spring Spectacular 2024. Today is mainly about celebrating our show choir season and really giving our show one last run, as well as saying goodbye to some of our very valued seniors. So today we have a very exciting program planned. We will be starting with 5 pieces by our seniors. 1 is a duet and 4 are solos. We will then be running our final group show as Class Act 2023-2024. Then I have a few short awards to give out, and then we'll be finishing with 1 final ballad to really put the show to rest. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to get things kicked off right away. We are going to be starting with the duet. This will be by a senior pair of Casey Lyso and Rory Gallagher. They'll be singing Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better from Annie Get You Done with a few modified lyrics. Please enjoy.
Yes, I am. With the get stressed. I can get me sleep without counting sheep. I can live on goldfish and coffee. And only on that? Yeah. Something a rat. And I know you can reach, I can go higher. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Anything you can buy, I can buy cheaper. I can buy anything cheaper than you. 50 cents? 20 cents? 30 cents? Let's look at inflation. I can say anything softer than you. Yes, I can. Yes, I can! I can drink caffeine enough to fill a ravine. I can drink it quicker. And with such vigor. I can read twice as much all the time. Social life? No. That's what I thought. I can hold and you longer than you. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Look at that. I lost this music faster than you. The sheet music? Yeah, my wallet. Your keys. Your phone? My chapstick. Yes, you do. And you faster than No, you can't. 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 Goodbye. I can tolerate people and be nicer. I can fake it better. I can do most anything. Can you bake a pie? No. Yeah, neither can I. Anything you can sing, I can sing sweeter. I can sing anything sweeter than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Fine, but I thought you were better. Okay, well, okay.
All right, next up in our senior showcase is going to be Carter Mandel singing Here's to the Ones Who Dream from the hit movie La La Land.
So there are a couple different things I have to say before I start the song. Including one, welcome, and two, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I used to have an aunt that lived in Paris, actually. She'd tell me stories about living abroad. I remember one. She jumped into the river. She left without looking. The water was freezing. She spent a month sneezing and said she would do it again. Here's to the ones who dream, foolish as they may seem. Here's to the hearts that ache. Here's to the mess we make. She captured a feeling, sky with no ceiling, a sunset inside a frame. She lived in liquor and died with the flicker of always remember. Here's to the ones who dreamed, foolish as they may seem. Here's to the hearts that ache. Here's to the mess we make. She told me a bit of madness is key to give us new colors to see. Who knows where they will lead us, and that's why they need us. So bring on the rebels, the ripples from pebbles, the poets and playwrights and plays. And here's to the fools who dream, crazy as they may seem. Here's to the hearts that ache. Here's to the mess we make. I trace it all back to them. Her and the snow and the sun, smiling through it, she said she'd do it again.
I think this one has better batteries. All right, so third will be Rory Gallagher coming back for her solo performance of Missing by London Grammar.
Yeah, so I promised a few people a fun, upbeat song, but I wanted a slow song, so this is how we both went.
Oh, I wish I was your favorite new creator. Is it all seeing off of the talks? You love the drama, mama. She's in the kitchen, best believing that she's cooking up a real storm fight. Traditional mixture. Everybody's got their own idea of right and wrong with arms wide open. checking on the girls all cooking, the ones you've been provoking. Everybody's got their own idea of right and wrong with arms wide open. Everybody's got their own idea of right and wrong, the ones who get broken. I worry that one day you'll go insane, and you will notice when you're gone how bad I'll call your father from afar and break the news that you have vanished like a star. Love to see you happy again with love beside you, a house full of friends. But we are what we are. This life has no end, and we're breaking apart. It's a long road ahead. I worry that one day you'll go insane, and you will notice when you're gone how bad I'll call your father from afar and break the news that you have vanished like a
Our fourth performance today will be Dylan Lee singing Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran.
Before I start the song, the reason why I chose this song is because my aunt, who passed away 2 years ago, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah. Yeah. To the supermarket flowers from the windowsill, through the day-old TV from the cupboard, packed up the photo album Matthew had made, memories of a life has been loved. To the get-well-soon cards and stuffed animals, hoarded the old ginger beer down the sink. Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down, but Mom, there's a tear every time that I blink. Oh, I'm in pieces, it's tearing me up, but I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's been loved, so I'll sing hallelujah. You were an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you be there holding me up. Spread your wings as you go, as when God takes you back, we'll sing hallelujah, you're home. Pack the photos, make the bed, stack the chairs up, folded your nightgown neatly in a case. John said he'll drive and put his hand on my cheek and wipe a tear from the side of my face. I hope that I see the world as you did, 'cause I know a heart that's broke is a heart that's your wings as you go. When God takes you back, he said, hallelujah, you're home. Hallelujah, you were an angel in the shape of my mom. You got to see the person I have become. Spread your wings and I know that God took you back. And he said, hallelujah, you're home.
All right. Last and certainly not least, we have Pachia Tao singing Second Best by Laufey. Leve is how it's pronounced, by the way.
Okay.
I'll never forget how stupid in love I felt. I'll always regret
All right, next up will be the Class Act final show run. But just to give Pachia a little bit of time to get dressed, I'm going to have everyone stay seated for just a second, and I'm going to read my thank yous at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Carney. Yes, thank you, Mr. Carney. We're supporting Central.
Thank you, Mikey and Bean. All right, so I will try to make this somewhat quick, but I do have a lot of important people I want to thank. This year, overall, has been very successful. I'm very grateful for the people that I'm surrounded by, both as students and parent volunteer help. I do believe that I have some of the very best people to work with and sort of be a part of this group. I'm very grateful to be a part of it. So I'd like to first thank the Logan Show Choir Parent Organization. That's the LSCPO. That is any parent who has been a part of this year in terms of volunteering, who has been helping with our showcase, who's come to our parent meetings, who has taken their children or other children to rehearsals, and just been patient with all the things we've done. So thank you all for all of your support and for allowing these kids to be in this great program. Thank you very much. I'd like to specifically thank the LSCPO board. That would be Chris Schilling. He's our president. In addition to being our president, which is already a very large task to undertake, he also is responsible for the design and construction and material gathering of the towers behind me. That was his idea. That was a lot of planning, a lot of meetings, but eventually it turned out to be something really great and hopefully something we can continue to use year over year. I also want to thank Twitch Engen, who couldn't be here today. She's our vice president. She does a ton of work with volunteer signups and different fundraisers and all that great stuff. I want to thank Jen Hagen. She's our secretary. She's our note taker. She also was responsible for a lot of our staging and big ticket items at Showcase this year. I want to thank both of the treasurers, Jolene Schindler and Lacey Warren, for all of their organization. Thank you very much. You've done a great job. I have some other parents that have done some specific jobs, like Mike Warren is our trailer driver. He's responsible for loading and unloading. He's also responsible for making sure that trailer gets parked in the exact same spot every single week, which is no small task. I want to thank the parent liaisons, Crystal and Lee Hemmersbach, for putting out about 9 million fires. They really are the ones that put all of those small fires out so I can continue to work on the big picture items. I want to thank Jen Schilling. She sort of took over our social media, which has exploded this year. There's a lot more interaction. So I'm very grateful for that, all the different exposure and pictures and videos and everything we've been able to share with people on Facebook and otherwise. I do want to thank, and part of you may be aware of this, this entire setup for sound was done by Everly Scott, and all of the mics and all the setup and all the recordings. It's a very large undertaking, so I'm very grateful. Thank you, Everly, back there in the house. I want to thank Pachia. She ran our Instagram this year, and she'll be passing that on to someone else, but she did a really great job interacting with other show choir accounts, making sure people know what's coming up for our performances, so thank you very much, Pachia. I also want to thank Matt Malum. He's going to be the reason that we're able to host an after-party social at the Main this evening, 5 to 7, so thank you, Matt. Just a few more here. I do want to thank my co-director, Ashley. She's been great. She's been here for 2 years. I'm going to say a little bit more about her later, but thank you, Ashley. I want to thank my quasi-assistant director, Macy Cardy. She's been here in and out throughout the year. She's done great work. She's back there. And then a couple more people. I just want to thank my personal support system. If you know me, if you've been to any show choir, you know that my family comes to all these things. So they're not here today because they're in Florida, but I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my siblings. I want to thank my girlfriend, Michaela, all the people that come. Lots of cheers for her. And then lastly, of course, we couldn't do any of this without our administration or our building engineers and custodians. So I do want to give a big shout out to Tony Service, Wally Genevico, Beth Ford, Tony DiPaolo, and then all of the custodians, all of the nutrition staff, all the AAs that make my job easier and make me, give me the ability to do what I do. So thank you, all those personnel as well. All right, so Without further ado, I think it is about time. I would like to ask the show choir members to take their spots. We're going to do one final show of the Class Act 2023-2024. Thank you very much.
like a flower blossoming after a storm. Yes, the rain seems to allow new depth to form, 'cause the wilting of these petals has caused me to explore a vibrancy that I have never known before. But I was too wrapped up in the heartache of the wind. I was so blinded by the downpour, it was easy to forget. For all of the colors,
Power!
All right, we're going to keep this show on the road. Next thing, please excuse my voice, I'm a little bit sick still. We're going to be handing out varsity letters. So, because this is an open class ensemble, everyone involved, band, crew, and show choir will be getting a varsity letter. So when I call your name, please come up and accept your award in addition to a handshake, knucks, or hug, and you lead the way so we know what to do, okay? Let's go all the way over here. So you lead with a handshake, knucks, or hug. First up is Rory Gallagher. Violet Engen. Pachia Tao. That's going to hurt in the morning. Marinda Driscoll. Casey Lyso. Hannah Malum. Gianna Pedretti. Callie Christofferson. Carter Mandel. Bianca Lee. Fletcher Thomas. Dylan Lee. Emma Wittenberg. Devanya Brunn. Gentry Schindler. Hayden Howe. Aaron Gotts. Ayu Vang. Magnolia Engen. Lila Addis. Everly Scott. Running sound and lights, they're coming down right now. Continue your applause. Sunshine Bot Spring. Morgan Kakuska. Jose Rodriguez. And now these will be first year letter members, so they will also receive a actual letter with their certificate. This is for, I don't believe she's here because she's dancing today, Greta Runyon. Let's give her a round of applause. freshman Alexis Lee. Addison Swartfeger.
Happy birthday!
Coming from the south side, Colin Melo. All right, Loriana Jones. Kelsey McCarter. Kai Hemmersbach. Natalie Pedretti. Maddie Proksch. Zach Schilling. Tabitha Sword. And I think he's back there as well. This one's for Finn Gallagher. Savannah Sishoni. Sichone is the pronunciation of the last name. Thank you. She is also not here today. This one's for Elizabeth Gotts, one of our crew members. And that concludes our letters. I do have a few more awards for our seniors. Give me 1 second to get organized. All right, this will be the last thing that I really talk about tonight. All right, so I have 5 seniors that'll be graduating from this program this year, and all 5 of them are very driven people. Most of them are very opinionated people. But I do genuinely mean this when I say that all 5 of them have made a major contribution to this group, and I have very, very high hopes for them as they leave this program, because I do believe that they all are destined for great things. So, and it's hard to tell if I'm getting emotional or if my voice is just hoarse from being sick, which is kind of in my favor today. So I do have 1 award for each senior, and then just to make it fun, I did steal this idea from Mr. Schultz. I also included, in addition to the serious actual achievement award, I included a second award on the exact same style of certificate, just because I wanted to have a little fun with it. So this first person joined this group for I believe this would have been their 3rd year overall, but they took a year off last year, which was my first year here at Logan. And they are a very unique person. They have a ton of great ideas and a ton of other ideas as well. But I do mean, when I say this, this person always leads with a genuine passion, and they work very hard, and they care a lot about what they do. So the award I decided to give was the Comeback Performer of the Year, and that's going to be going to Carter Mandel. In addition to Comeback Performer of the Year, I would also be very glad to announce that I will be awarding Carter Mandel with the award for most likely to say something inappropriate in rehearsal. All right. This next award is called, well, it's difficult because I do have 5 very hardworking people, but this person in particular I consider to be one of the hardest workers I've had as a student. They constantly put in the work. They take time outside of rehearsal to continue to get better. They were one of my dance captains this year, and so that award will be going, the hardest working show choir member 2023-2024 is going to Pachia Tao. In addition to the hardest working show choir member, I also would like to award Pachia with most likely to bother Mr. Carty about show designs for next year. All right, number 3. This person I've had for 2 years, both years, I suppose you could call it. They are also very hardworking, but I would say that this year particularly, they really turned over a new leaf. I've had this person for 2 years, but this year in particular, I felt that they have grown both as a performer and as a person, as well as a leader. And I'm very proud to say that I would like to award the most improved show choir member to Rory Gallagher. And Rory would also be going home with most likely to threaten someone with violence during rehearsal. Next up, I do have a lot of emotional performers, a lot of people who lead with their heart, like I said, but I would like to give this person in particular, I think no one will disagree with me, they will be taking home the most enthusiastic performer, and that's going to Dylan Lee. Dylan will also be receiving most likely to fall asleep during a team meeting. All right, and then my final senior. It's no mystery who it is, but I would like to just say a few kind words about this person. The person behind me is Casey Lyso, and Casey is a very teachable kid. He also works very hard, but he's the type of person where if I look him in the eye and I say, this is what I need you to do, I know it's going to be done. And it's very, very sad to see him go because he is very great to work with. He'll be taking the best attitude and most teachable student, 2023-2024. And last but certainly not least, Casey will also be taking most likely to fall off the back risers and land on the drum kit. And I just want to wrap up by thanking my dance captains. As some of you may or may not know, I did not have an assistant director this year, and a big part of that burden of being able to clean choreography and split the group in half and be able to sort of work with half a group and know that the other half will be getting stuff done is because of my dance captains. Oftentimes you see the soloists on stage, you know who they are because they have a microphone in their hands, but you don't always see the people who put in the work to make sure that the visuals are looking good as well. So I'd like to award all 7 of my dance captains. I'm just going to announce them all at once. These will be going to Casey Lyso, Dylan Lee, Violet Engen, Rory Gallagher, Emma Wittenberg, Pachia Tao, and Gianna Pedretti. Coming up, Captain. All right, and that's all I had. I'd like to welcome our president, Chris Schilling, up to the stage.
So my name is Chris Schilling. I'm the president of the LSCPO, the Logan Show Choir Parent Organization. And God, I was emotional last year because I had a senior. I'm going to be emotional this year because I have a freshman. And actually, I would say most importantly, this group of kids, I tell you. I don't know if anyone really knew what we were expecting this year. We're a small group of parents, and I first off want to thank every single parent that was there to help, those that came to meetings, those that volunteered for showcase, those that came tonight a little early to help set up. We're small, but I tell you, we're mighty. We are a mighty group. I don't know if it's been mentioned, but if you look over stage left here on our table, the awards that this group has won this year at competitions. We, after our first competition in Holman, we made finals 5 straight comps. We had best crew twice. We had best costumes, even when we didn't make finals, we had best costumes. Our soloists, Aaron Gotts has won 2 solo comps, runner-up in a 3rd. Again, I mean, what the success that this group has this year has been just absolutely amazing. It's hard to think that this season is over. That the reason why we're here tonight is to put this show to bed, and it was a fantastic show. And if you ask my wife, I do get a little emotional at times. So I also like to thank our LSCPO board. So Mel Engen, who is not here tonight, she is our vice president. We have Jolene Schindler, who I believe was here. I don't know if she's still here, but Jolene Schindler is one of our treasurers. We have Lacey Warren, who is our other treasurer. And then we also have Jenny Hagan, who is our secretary. So I'd just like to give a round of applause for her. A couple other thank yous that I want to give, and I believe Adam may have mentioned them earlier. I was busy doing something. But I'd also like to thank our parent liaisons this year, Crystal and Lee Hemmersbach. They were absolutely fantastic. What I love about it is that they're freshman parents, so they're going to be around for 3 years now, I guess 3 years. And then I had mentioned Lacey as being on our board, and her husband Mike, Trailer Mike. Mike has taken on his duties as the trailer guy in Storm. I mean, we have so many things that we've done differently this year. It's been absolutely amazing. The kids, I don't know if the kids really would even have noticed a difference moving into this year, and I would actually say that was one area that I was a little concerned because our previous trailer person, Pete Kennedy, was stepping away this year. So again, I really cannot be happier with this group of parents, with this group of students, with our director, Adam, and Ashley. It has been a phenomenal year. It's been a long year, but it has been nothing but spectacular. So the only other thing that I want to mention then is that we do have parent meetings for those parents that are in the audience. We do have parent meetings, so keep an eye on your email. We will be sending out information when we do have an upcoming meeting, even though this season is over. Technically, starting tomorrow, we're on the next year already. And that's just kind of how show choir works. So with that, do we have for the seniors? We have one more thing for the seniors.
Thank you, Chris, for all that you do as well.
You're just trying to make me cry again. Okay, so we just have just a little token. It's anyway. So for our seniors, we just want to give them a little bit something to recognize. So we'll start with Dylan Lee. If you can't see, it's a succulent and a box of Girl Scout cookies. How about Rory Gallagher? Carter Mandel. And then we have Casey Lysol.
What about Lily?
Actually, funny you mentioned that. So I was going to mention, we do have, because they're not technically students, I wasn't able to give them a letter, but I do have 2 graduated seniors who also were members of our crew, and I wanted to give them both a very quick shout out. So if they could both stand when I call their names, we give them a big round of applause. That would be Lily Engen and Lucas Beeston. Yeah, both former show choir members that have moved on slightly to greener pastures, but now come back and helped us. I'm very grateful for both of them. And now I do have one final thank you, and that would be for my co-director, Ashley. She, if those of you that don't know, will be returning to Florida after this season, not immediately, but in the near-ish future, she'll be going back to her home state of Florida. And she's done a great job these last 2 years. To be honest with you, I literally do not know what I would have done if she was not there to fill the shoes of show band director. So I'm eternally grateful for her, not only for our group's success, but also to have someone to bounce ideas off of. And I just want to wish her the best and wish her good luck as she goes back to the Sunshine State. Thank you, Ashley. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for being here. I think that is the end of our planned program. I do need to ask these students to stay and help us tear down. We also have a ballad that we would like to perform for you all one final time. So, as these kids stand up here ready to sing one last time, I want to thank you all for being here and remind you that we do have an after party 5 to 7 at the Main downtown. So, one more ballad and then we will be out of here. Thank you.
Like a flower blossoming after a storm. Yes, the rain seems to allow new time to form. 'Cause the wilting of these petals has caused me to explore a vibrancy that I have never known before. But I was wrapped up in the heartache of the wind. I was so blinded by the downpour, it was easy to forget.
All of the colors, all of the light that's coming through, the way the sun